afternoon, or whenever you end up taking this video. If you are joining me live, you're gonna have to wait because no one's on yet. If you are joining me on a replay, some items you might want to have close by is, actually let me move this back a little bit, is either a ball that's kind of soft. You know, this is a little child's toy that I have for my nephew. I'm going to give him later. So I'm going to get some use out of it beforehand. He won't mind. He's 3. But I have a very soft ball. If you don't have that, you have something like a lacrosse ball or multiple lacrosse balls. That would be great as well. Another item you can kind of use instead of like a soft ball could be, I'm trying to think, like I have a med ball that's kind of different, or just something round that you could lay on, maybe you can put your head on, something that's going to have a little bit of feedback would be great. If it is solid, that's okay. You could even use a foam roller, so that's also another option. I'm going to repeat those for those who come on live, but for those of you who are joining me before that, today's mobility is about, or our movement improvement is about how to de-stress, which I think a lot of us need more than ever right now, is just to let it go and de-stress. And there's ways that we can kind of let our body flow and let that energy flow through our body to kind of help us relax in some ways. So, you know what? I am just going to go with it. And if people aren't on, they're not on, and they can join up later. So, we're going to start on, if you have a mat or somewhere soft to lay on, we're going to start by laying down. Maybe you just got out of bed. Maybe you're still tired because it's getting darker in the mornings, and it's harder to get up. Whatever it might be, we're just going to start laying down. This also helps us to relax and let everything go. We're going to keep both of our legs straight. Before we do anything, we're just going to breathe. So if you want to join me, and keep one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, whatever might work for you. Keep them by your side. Your eyes open or closed. If they're open, just try to let them soften. Kind of go into your own world in your head. Don't really focus on anything. And we're not breathing in any particular way. We're just kind of letting our breath be. So if you are really stressed and your heart is racing, I want you to take a deep breath in, and I'm going to count for you. We can all do this together if you want to try it. We're going to take a deep breath in. When I say go, I guess, or I'll say in a big, big way. All right, together, we're going to breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. In. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Return to your normal breathing. too relaxed, but don't get too relaxed here. We're going to take our hands and we can clasp our fingers together behind one of our legs. And if you don't have that, get a towel or get a jump rope or resistance band, anything that can kind of help you get behind this leg if you don't have that mobility. If your shoulders are coming off the ground to hold it, definitely get something to help assist you. So we want our shoulders to be relaxed down, and we're just clasping behind this thigh. The other leg is nice and long, pressing down and away. We're just going to do some nerve glides in our hamstrings. So we're going to let our leg hang in this 90-degree angle, nice and relaxed. And then we're going to extend it, straighten our leg, extend our heel forward to the sky. Make sure this hip stays down. And then we're just going to return back to this 90-degree, nice and relaxed. All right, so in or straighten the leg. We're kind of pressing behind these fingertips and relax. That's why we interlace them. Straighten the leg and relax them. Wow, there's so much noise today. Straighten the leg and relax. Straighten the leg and relax. And one more, straighten the leg, heel to the sky, and then we're going to bring this knee into our chest for a knee hug. Deep breath here. And then we're going to cross it over our body. You can, if you want, use something like a foam roller to keep this knee down, especially since most of us don't really have mobility here to be able to bring this knee down. We're going to take our top arm, so I'm bringing my top or my bottom shoulder back underneath. If you want something for your head, you can as well. My top arm, I'm going to reach forward and sweep up overhead and all the way around, nice and big, like around the world here. We're going to come back to the start and we're going to do it again. We want to stretch those fingertips as far away as possible, so we're keeping this top knee down. We're stretching the side body, stretching from this hip. We're also getting this rotation in this top chest, and we're going all the way around. That was two. We're going to keep going. Try and get those nice and long elbow. We don't want to bend at the elbow. We want to keep it nice and straight. Breathing in and then exhaling around. You want to try and get those fingertips to glide the ground as much as possible while keeping this top knee down. And we're going to do one more. Good. We're going to come back to the back side of our back. We're going to switch sides. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our opposite leg. Send this one nice and straight in front of us. And we're going to have our knee bent 90 degrees. And then straighten our leg, leading with our heel to the ceiling. And back down. Straighten the leg. Back down. Straighten the leg. And back down. Straighten the leg, back down, and last one, straighten the leg, and back down. We're going to take this knee, I like to hold by my shins, hug it into the chest, keep the other leg nice and long as you do this. Maybe want to cross it over the entire body a little bit more. And then we're going to take that leg, cross it over, hold it down on the ground, and you will see when I open up for this open book position that I am not really touching the ground, but I'm reaching around. We're getting some nerves down even the forearm, maybe for some of us, or bicep, our chest, or our pecs, just allowing gravity to hold it. So we're going to inhale our arm forward, And above our head, we're going to exhale as we come around behind us. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale. Inhale, sweeping up. One more. And exhale. Good, coming back to center. And we're going to roll on over to our tabletop position. In this tabletop position, our hands are under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. And before we even get started, I kind of just want you to move around, you know, whatever your body really kind of needs. Maybe we do some hip circles one way. Maybe we do hip circles another way. You can kind of play with how you're feeling. Maybe go bending from side to side. I don't know about you guys, but my lower back on either side is really tight, so I'm trying to get into that any which way I can and stretch. All right, and then we're gonna find just our neutral spinal tabletop position, and we're going to do some head, maybe I can turn this way, I might be tilted a little bit. All right, so we're going to just do some head rolls here. So we don't want our head to be falling down, we want to keep it nice and long. It's an extension of our spine shooting forward. And we're going to take our ear, let's take our left ear to our left shoulder and back to center. Right ear to right shoulder, back to center. Left ear to left shoulder, and back to center. Right ear to right shoulder, back to center. And then we're going to take our chin to each shoulder. So I'm going to take my chin to my left shoulder, back to center, to my right, back to center. And the reason we're in this tabletop is not to twist, to really reach it. We're just reaching towards that direction. One more each side, and come back to neutral. And then we're going to do some spinal waves. So if you're used to cat-cow, we will get there next. But spinal waves, I just want you to just kind of let the energy flow from our head, where the spine attaches to our skull. Let that kind of roll like a wave as much as we can, and just create some mobility and, you know, allow your spine to be. So I like a lot of side to side, but kind of allowing the spine to roll is a little bit different than I'm used to. So just allowing that spinal roll just flows the body a little bit differently. Again, if you want to do some side to side, I just got some release in my lower back, which is great. And then we're going to go into our cat and cow shoulders, away from the ears and shoulder blades onto the back. We're going to drop our belly, lift our chin, tailbone to the sky, reaching that chest to the front of our mat. And exhale, tuck it all in, pressing hard against the earth, chin tucks, tailbone tucks, stretching that back. And when you're on your inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Breathing deep into that belly, breathing deep into that chest. And exhale, let it out. Let it out, squeezing that rib cage, letting all the breath in. On your inhale, drop it down, breathing in. And exhale, squeeze it out. You can get some rocks here if you want. Few more on your own. here, we're gonna stay here. We're just going to do a few more rocks. We're gonna take one foot, we're gonna hold it out to the side. So we're still in our tabletop position. One foot is directly just out to the side. We're gonna feel that stretch down our inner thigh. Am I in screen? I don't even know if I am. So we're gonna hold that there, and then we're just going to rock our hips back towards our back heel and come back up. Rocking back and come back up. Rock back again, come back up. It doesn't matter how low you get. I mean, if you're right here and that's all you can do, that's great. Rocking back and forward. And one more time. And we're gonna switch sides. So bring that knee back in under our hip and sending the opposite leg out to our side. And again, our hands are under our shoulders. We're gonna sit back towards our back heel, rocking back and come back forward. We're doing it 5 times for pretty much everything today. And breathe with this. We're gonna inhale going back and then exhale to release. We want to inhale when the stretch gets a little bit more intense, breathing into any of that discomfort, and exhale on that release while we're back to neutral. I don't remember where I counted. I think this is 4. And this is 5. All right. Coming back to neutral, if you like, we are going to get into, if you know what that is, our child's pose. So our knees are wide, our feet together, hands are long, sitting back. And we're just gonna stay nice and relaxed here. Breathing through our rib cage, breathing through that belly, let it come forward into the ground. Let our arms and our shoulders relax. Let your forehead come to the ground if you can. If you're not there, maybe you have your hands either on a block or maybe even on your hands here, whatever it might be. Just relaxing and breathing here. Deep breaths, really open and expand the rib cage. Five deep breaths is what we're going for here. Last deep breath. And exhale. Release those hands if you can. Bring the forehead to the ground. Make sure your knees are just wide enough, where you're not going to fall forward or you're holding yourself up with your hands or your head. Should be nice and balanced here. If you want, you can sweep those arms back. Get a nice little rinse here with our shoulders. Fingers interlace, shoulders come onto the back, and we extend our arms up and away. I like to point my fingers away to kind of say I want to go that way. I want to go all the way extend. If you have your towel, you can use that here if your hands don't interclasp already, if you can't get that mobility. And just taking deep breaths through this and release those hands forward. Bringing our hands to the left side of our mat, we can kind of bring them on top of each other. Taking some deep breaths as we bend through the right side of our body. One more breath. And walk those hands to the right side of the mat. I like to bend through this left side body now. And breathing nice and deeply into this left side body. My head is facing forward as if I didn't move it as much. And it's just my arms, maybe a slight bend into that left side. And then we're going to come back to center exhale on your next breath and press up. Maybe you feel a little bit tighter in your hips, that's okay. We're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna, do a little thread the needle. So plant our left hand. We're gonna take our right arm, we're gonna sweep it under. We're gonna exhale, open up. Actually, we're just gonna do some sweeps first. So we're just gonna rotate that upper back, that thoracic. So we're gonna breathe in and exhale, open up. One more. And exhale, open up. On your next inhale, we're gonna come through, thread the needle, drop the head. And this is just kind of we're gonna take a passive, stance on here. So we're gonna thread this needle, reach that bottom arm through, palm facing up. And we're just gonna open up slightly by pressing this top hand into the ground. So just open up and relax it back. Open it up and relax it back. Open up, breathing deep because we're stretching right behind that shoulder blade, nice and good. And we're relaxing back. Last one. And coming on up. Same thing, other side. We're gonna breathe that left hand under, sweep it under, looking at our other side. And exhale, twist. Inhale, sweep under. And exhale, twist. We still have this child's pose. So once you do this twist, if you are leaning forward, you're going to feel this in that opposite hip flexor. And two more, because I think we did 5. Maybe we didn't. I'm sorry if we haven't. Last one. And then you're going to take that hand, thread it under the ground, threading the needle, and again, staying passive, opening up, and coming back down. Opening up, breathing in, coming back down. Opening up, and exhale, come back. Again. And release. One more time. And release. And come on back up. Actually, we're going to, let's just go right. So we're going to come all the way to our belly. Laying down, legs are together. We're going to come up. And just something that we can do is just breathing into our belly. So if you want to, I'm going to come up into like a cobra position. So my elbows are going to be under my shoulders, my hands are forward. And I'm just going to breathe in, release that belly forward. So I want you to breathe in, and when you press through the hands slightly, I want it to be your breath that opens up the chest. So as I breathe in, I'm releasing and stretching that spine up and forward, pressing that belly forward, and then exhale, release. Inhale, breathe in, and exhale, release. So it's really focusing on the belly. That's going to help kind of maybe release anything in our lower back. So we're breathing in, pressing that belly button forward, and release. One more. And relax. Good. We're going to come down. You can come down to the ground with your one cheek to one side. And then we're going to take maybe that same side leg and same side arm. We're going to stretch this quad, stretch these hip flexors if you felt like you're still tight there in any of our movements. We want to make sure that we're still tucking our tailbone under. So we're squeezing our glutes, squeezing our hamstrings as we grab this ankle. It's really good if you have a strap, grab the strap, grab the towel, whatever it might be. Bring this hip flexor in. If you do not feel it here, you can kind of, raise that chest a little bit, but you still want to keep that tailbone tucked under. I like to grab by the ankle and let my toes go away from the body. We're just gonna breathe in nice and deep here. Pressing this hip down as we tuck that tailbone under. And release. Other side. Same thing. Tuck that, as you grab it, tuck that tailbone under. Squeeze that glute, toes away from the body. 5 deep breaths. Awesome. Once you're done, release the foot. We are going to take that ball that we talked about earlier, and we're going to end with laying on our back, getting in a nice relaxed position. You can use a lacrosse ball or 2 lacrosse balls if you'd like. We're going to take this ball, we're just going to put it, something at the base of our head, or for something that's very soft, I can put this under my spine, like under my neck. It's actually not too high either. And I'm just going to nice and gently roll from side to side. And we've done this before in one of our movement improvements. So you can, go back to what maybe you've used there. So I'm going to push it under my head a little bit more at the base of the head. And just rolling my head side to side. Taking some nice, relaxing, deep breaths. And going nice and slow. Again, you can use a lacrosse ball. Maybe you put the lacrosse ball on like a yoga block or books or something, or you hold them steady with your hands. You can also tape them together. If you have a foam roller or something like this, still the same thing that you're doing. And then we're going to come to a neutral head position, and we're just going to tuck that chin in and press down into the object and lengthen our spine, and then relax. So chin tucks down, lengthen that spine, and then pressure into the object. And relax. I really like it at the base of my head. Let's do it again. Deep breath in, and release the breath once we relax the muscles. 2 more times. And last time. And take the block or ball or foam roller away and just relax on your back, ending how we started with some nice relaxing breaths. Just try to relax any tension that you're holding in the body. All those school buses going by. And just as the school bus is going by, it makes me think of something to share with you. Because when we are stressed, or we're angry, or we're frustrated for something, just anything in our lives that come up, it's a lot easier to be stressed and annoyed, or whatever it might be, with something else that's happening. So something simple like trying to have you guys hear me and the bus going by could easily annoy me if I'm already stressed. But you have to take a deep breath, check in with your thoughts, and let it go. It's like the waves. Let the waves pass. Let those emotions pass. Feel them if you really are feeling them. And then let them pass by. Just like the waves of the spine that we did earlier, and how we are, rocking that energy through the body with some of our movements today. It is, come back up, really easy to let some of this get to us, let the stress get to us. If you want to work your way up to a seated cross position, because we are, for most of us, starting our day. If you wanted to end your practice there on the ground, if you're doing this right before bedtime. If you're sitting up and you're getting ready and started for the day, I'm just going to sit in this cross shin position. I'm just going to breathe in, shrug my shoulders up high to my ears, and exhale, then back and down. Inhale, breathe them up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale and exhale. Maybe I do some head rolls. Maybe full rolls. Whatever works for you, just to kind of help get the blood flowing, the body moving, our muscles moving. And hopefully that helps you today to de-stress a little bit, because it's easy for our stress to get a little high, especially during these times. There's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot in the unknown, and we have no control over it. So the most we can do is control our own emotions, our own self, because being stressed isn't actually helping to do anything productive in our life, right? We're not accomplishing anything by stressing ourselves. We're actually doing more harm than good to our own selves if we are frustrated with someone else or something else in our life or in the world. Our stress is not going to change that. That person or object or thing or whatever it might be doesn't even know that you are that affected by it, and it's not going to change how they feel or what's going on with them, and just going to only create more issues for yourself. So, stress is, we've talked about before. If you're following us, you might see some posts before on how stress and what it does to the body. So thank you for joining me today. And if you are taking this on a replay again, please comment replay or any other comments as well, saying you liked it, you didn't like it, or any other things that you want to comment. Maybe you want to comment on what's been stressing you. Maybe you need to release it. Maybe you need to write it down. Just get it out. Same thing with our body of what we did today. We just kind of flowed and allowed that, I talked about the energy, but allowing those emotions, those thoughts to kind of just, in a physical sense, flow out of the body, not letting it just hold that stress, that tension in wherever we might hold that stress or tension. So the same thing goes. Sometimes we need to write it out. Sometimes we need to speak it out. So this is your safe space to do that. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Sorry about my crazy hair today.